What are your impressions of this offense now after a week?
Well, it's been inconsistent. It's been uneven. At times it's looked a little bit ragged, and it's looked like, Baker is finding his way. And I think he's been off on a lot of his passes, maybe sometimes putting a little bit too much heat on the ball. But I think what we're seeing is the first installation on grass of this offense. I mean, this is it. This did not happen back in May. This did not happen back in OTAs. This is the first time they are actually trying to do this live, not out, in some, in their backyard and sending in film to the, to the offensive coordinator. I mean, Baker Mayfield actually has to try to complete a 55-yard pass to Odell Beckham Jr. into double coverage. That has to happen now. And so, I think I think that it's a learning curve that they have to come up very, very, very quickly. This is not going on over in Baltimore. They're not trying to figure out the terminology over there. Lamar Jackson's not trying to figure out, the names in some cases of some of his teammates, So I think it looks like it probably should look at this point, like it's brand new and that it's got a long way to go.
You got new coaches, you have a mostly new offensive line, guys learning to play next to each other in a new scheme. And it's going to take time. And I think they've even talked about how they're in teaching mode. And, I don't think there's anything to be, well, I guess you can be kind of concerned since it is an abbreviated camp, but I think they're probably where they should be right now.
All this talk about a shortened off season and how it's going to put some teams at a disadvantage, there's a pretty good chance that the Browns might be one of those teams at a disadvantage, that all that talk of having a new coach, having a new scheme, putting in a new system, it's going to be really hard early in the season to get everything clicking.
Yeah, it really will be. And think about this, you guys. I mean, it is not like we are looking out there and seeing J.C. Treader at center and Nick Chubb in the backfield where he's supposed to be. And all of a sudden you're seeing how they're going to divide the workload between Nick and Kareem Hunt. And then over there is Jarvis Landry and over there is Odell Beckham Jr. We have not seen that yet. We have not seen one practice where it's the full complement of the offense. On some days, like yesterday, we didn't see Jarvis, Odell, Nick Chubb, or J.C. Treader in the offense. That's 4 starters, So there's been a lack of continuity because of injuries and things like that. So I don't think that's helped matters. And the truth of the matter on that is, it might not be perfect for opening day either.
It just hasn't been real exciting, I guess. That's probably the most disappointing thing. It just hasn't been exciting. And maybe that's selfish. Maybe I just want to see a little sizzle in this offense.
Well, I think there is sizzle coming from one particular place on a consistent basis in practice every day offensively, and that's your guy, Kareem Hunt. Dan, I mean, I think if you had to look for some sizzle.
Now, one thing we have been able to hear a lot of is the defense. They have been loud. They have been energetic since the pads went on. They have been, you can hear every single word these guys are saying out there. In some cases, as we've discussed, they've been a little over-aggressive. It's why Nick Chubb was in the concussion protocol after Mack Wilson hit him. The defense, certainly over this first week, has been winning camp. Mary Kay, what are your first impressions now that we've seen Joe Wood's defense, at least as up close as we can get?
Well, the first things that come to mind really quickly are the fact that it's very opportunistic. They are grabbing the football. They're intercepting balls. Denzel Ward has already had 2 really good interceptions in practice. I've seen Kevin Johnson. We need to talk about that too at some point here. But Kevin Johnson had an interception. He now has a lacerated liver, and we don't know when we're going to see him again. And that's very, very unfortunate, coming in the same week that Mack Wilson goes out with his knee injury. But I've seen a lot of forced fumble drills and knock the ball out drills, and they are attacking the football. And then one of the other things that really stands out to me, and I'm sure you guys too, is BJ Goodson and his booming voice. I mean, you don't go through one drill without hearing BJ Goodson yelling out there. And I think he's establishing himself as a very vocal leader on this team.